Greens of love, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. This is Dr. Keela, and I wanted to let's see if we can make this short. I doubt it very seriously. I've talked about the setup before in the past in reference to the month of October being the first month in order to bring you down, heal in reference to your immune system as well as your health, and this is a good time that you'll gain weight. October is the month of Halloween. So this is when you get a lot of sugar, a lot of carbohydrates, and it's about candy, cookies, cakes, pastries, pies, crepes, all of this fat food, sugar, high sugar food with also a lot of fat in it. And fat plus sugar is a bad combination. That's something you don't want to do. So you don't want to mix your fats and your sugars together. That's a recipe for disaster, but people do it all the time. And I want to let you know that this is a time to just be aware. Right now, the country's going through a lot of things. We're going through a lot of turmoil. We got prices are going up. And so this is going to cause some of you all to stress eat, while the rest of you all are just going to lower your quality of your food from, a good type of food to just junk food because it's cheap. There's so many ways of saving for food that's nutritious and alive, and that's going to be good for you. I think what you have to do is, if you want to know what you can do to save money on food, cut down on those enriched carbs like the pastries and the bread. Oh, definitely the bread, the boxed cereal. I don't know. Maybe I should do a video on how to eat healthy, but also eat healthy on a budget. It's really not hard. A lot of people are talking about, vegetarian food costs a lot of money. Let's be clear. I do not consider Impossible Meat or an Impossible Burger or the Beyond Meat. That's what it is. Beyond Meat and Impossible Burger. I don't consider that vegetarian food. I consider that mock meat that is geared for carnivores. If you are a vegan and you're a vegetarian, you should stay far away from Beyond Meat and Impossible Burgers. You should never, ever let that stuff touch your lips, ever. It is full of chemicals, high in soy, and that's really bad for you ladies out there. And not only that, though, why would you want to eat something if you're a vegan now? If you're a vegetarian, even if you're a vegetarian, why would you want to eat something that tastes like cooked flesh? I don't understand. Now, if you want to eat cooked flesh, then eat cooked flesh. But when I have a garden burger, never in my life did I eat a garden burger and go, this tastes just like a Burger King Whopper. Is it? Why would I do that? Now, even when I did eat a garden burger, I knew I was eating junk food. It was delicious, by the way. Okay, it had all the vegetables inside of it, but I knew I was eating processed vegetables. Okay, the vegetables were cooked, so there's no nutrition in it. Plus, they had the filler in there, which was soy, not too much, but it still has some in there. And it's not a nutritional thing. It's more healthier for you than actual cooked flesh, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is that you can eat food that's not geared to be imitation meat. So that's why you're complaining about it being expensive. Because if you're looking for something that's going to substitute for flesh, I'm sorry, to be honest, there isn't anything, I'm trying to think, is there anything out there to taste any. No. I can't think of anything out there in the vegetarian world that actually tastes just like animal flesh. I can't think of anything. No, not one thing I can think of it. So when you eat, remember, you have to think about, I'm eating to live. I'm eating to stay healthy. I'm eating to make sure I stay out of the hospital. Okay, that's one of the things you want to do. You want to make sure that you're not a good candidate for doctors to want to do all kind of experimental things on you because your triglycerides were a little high, or your blood pressure was just almost at the borderline. You just don't, because they're going to ask you to come back and to come back and to come back, and it's an ongoing cycle. And I just believe that if we just take the time to just start to develop our taste buds, I hope I said that right. Yeah, taste buds. It's really late, so it's the reason why I'm tongue-tied. That you would have the taste for live foods, living foods. So we have October coming up, and with October, we have all that candy, all of the cookies, pastries, and all that stuff. Then we got Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving was what I call drama month. If you're the type of people that will go see your family and you don't like your family, and you know all kinds of stuff comes out during the family when the wine starts going around, yeah, it could be stressful for many of you, and it could be pleasurable for the rest of you. But the most important thing you got to understand is that this is a moment of binge eating. It's when everybody goes to the table and start binging on as much food as you want. But it's going to be a little stressful because the turkey is going to cost 24 or 23% more than it did last year, if you can get a turkey this year. And let's not forget the ham. All right, if you want to get a honey bay ham, that's all that protein. And then you want to combine it with your biscuits, with your cornbread, with your, what else do they? Yeah, the stuffing. I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I've been at Thanksgiving, a normal Thanksgiving dinner table, and I've observed what's on the table. So I think it's cranberry sauce, string beans, corn. That's going to be GMO corn. Anyway, but the most of it is going to be carbs and protein. So that's a bad combination right there too. And then you're going to have, it's the biggest thing what people love is the desserts. So you're going to have what they call a red velvet cake. You're going to have your pound cake with ice cream on it. You're going to have I'm sorry for messing my face up. You're going to have pound cake with ice cream on top. You're going to have apple pies. You're going to have strawberry shortcakes, all this other junk that you're going to consume along with all the other food. And then you're going to have the itis where you're going to sleep on it. And next thing you know, of course, your family member or the person who invited you to the home is going to make sure you leave with a plate. And you're going to be nibbling on that for 2 days, right? I don't think no more than 3 days unless they're giving you lots of plates. But this is something, I know some of you like, well, Dr. Keela, we got to live. Okay, that's fine. But don't take a plate home with you. I always have a problem with, if you're going to binge, then binge, repent for your sins the next day, and then go back to your normal eating. Go back to your healthy diet. But if you're going to sit up here and binge and then bring more food the next day to binge off of, now see, I got a problem with that. All the time. Just stop it. Don't bring a plate. And if you're with someone who says don't bring a plate, like say, and if somebody insists, because I do have a friend who doesn't take no for an answer. If that individual insists on giving you a plate of food, they're not hearing about it, Do something that I know is going to be hard for you to do, but the karma will come back on you. Give that plate of food to someone off the street who needs it, okay? Go to where you know where homeless people are, or go someplace where you have some people standing outside and say, hey y'all, anybody want a plate of food? Let me tell you, a lot of people, depending on where you are, a lot of people are not going to turn down no food, okay? Or if you know someone that loves to eat, give it to them. I mean, I remember somebody delivered me food. It was some hamburgers. They delivered it here by accident. And I just went to the neighbor up the way, and because I know that he's always cooking on the grill. And I told him, I said, Uber Eats gave me this food. They don't want it back. Would you like it? And he just hugged me, gave me a kiss on my cheek, and he thought I was the best thing next to Santa Claus. See, I always know a person to give that food to, so that's not a problem. And then we have the last month of the year, which is Christmas month, where they go 12 days before Christmas, 11 days before Christmas, 10 days before Christmas, and you're running around, getting around. The stores are packed. People are angry. People are upset. They trying to like max out their credit cards. It's a bad time. It's starting to get cold, so your skin is not exposed to the sun like it used to be. So the vitamin D is lacking, which is very important for you to start supplementing with your vitamin D3 during this time, okay? Because to build up your immune system, because your skin is not exposed to the sun as often now that it's going to get a little cold and you're covering up your body. And so that's very stressful. And then we have January, the 1st of January, New Year's Eve. And of course, New Year's Eve is all about getting your drink on. People who consume alcoholic beverages will start drinking anything from champagne to wine to beer to just mixed cocktails like martinis or something, or Long Island iced tea. These are the drinks that people want to just have. They just want to let go, and they just want to be free, and they just want to say, this is just a new year, which it really isn't a new year. The new year starts when there's new growth, and that's in spring, March the 21st. But I know, tomatoes, who cares? So here's the thing. January gets here and you're doing all this stuff, and that's that. And so it's just, you get your drink on, you're going to be very dehydrated. You're going to really mess up the liver. The liver has to detox all that alcohol, and you're dehydrated on the same time. That's just really just a recipe for disaster for your immune system, okay? You want to build up your immune system. And then here's the last holiday that and it doesn't affect everybody. I must admit, this coming last holiday doesn't affect everybody. And that is the February the 14th, Valentine's Day. I think it's the February the 14th. I never celebrated it. Well, when I was young, I did, because I didn't know better. But now I don't. So this is when women who are lonely are, upset that they don't have a man in their lives. Men are, I don't think men go through any regret doing the Valentine's Day, because they're the ones who have to come out of pocket to buy the candy, buy the flowers, buy the balloons, and buy the meal at a nice restaurant. So I think if a man doesn't have a woman on Valentine's Day, I think he's like, I bit that bullet. So he ain't got to come out of his pocket for anything. But this is when women are a little sad, and that's going to cause some depression. But guess what else happened on Valentine's Day? Even if you don't got a man, people want to give you candy, and that nasty candy from those little, what's that chalky heart stuff that got I love you, kiss me, and all that stuff. That's some nasty candy. I never liked that candy ever in my life. But anyway, you got that candy going out. And yeah, we got carbs again. We got sugar again. So, people want to make other people feel good. And it's not that they're bad people. They just don't know better. But you have to have the strength to reject all of this. You have to have the strength to say no. And most of all, you have to understand that people are doing these things because they're conditioned to do it. This is what they normally do. This is what they are programmed to do, and they just don't know any better. So if some people offer you candy or anything like that, take it, but give it away. That's my thing. I give it away. And I don't drink, so I don't have to worry about January the 1st. And plus, I don't celebrate January the 1st like that anyway. My first of the year is March the 21st. So there's that. I'm rambling, but it's important for you to know your weaknesses, because we're about to come into a very challenging moment now, more than ever. And one thing about my group, my Dr. Keeler Roundtable group, Tier A and Tier B, I have been training the ladies to not eat so much because it's winter season. I may do a video specifically talking about that, because this is when you shouldn't eat as much, and because this is when the weight gain comes. And when a bear hibernates, they eat all they can before they hibernate, and then when they wake up, then they're hungry, then they want to be fat, then they want to do, they want to do their thing. So there's that. But anyway, this is when you need to not control your portions and not engage in a lot of comfort food like popcorn, GMO popcorn specifically, your cookies, your potato chips. And if you like potato chips, ladies, you're only crunching on that because you like the crunch. You like to hear the crunch, and that's because you're under a lot of stress. I think you would get more satisfaction, if not the same satisfaction, if you was crunching on some baby carrots. All right, just try it out. Trust me, it's not the chips, although the chips taste good. You like to hear that in your head. It stimulates your brain when you're under stress. I can go on and on with this. Maybe I would do a live stream. I doubt it, but I'm just throwing it out there just to see how it sounds. And I said it and I didn't like it, so I'm taking it back. Anyway, that's all I gotta say right now, is that be aware of the trap that's coming towards you. Be aware that the setup is happening, and don't fall for it. Resist the urge to deal with the candy. It's okay to have the candy for the little kids if they knock on your door, but avoid eating it yourself. The same thing with Thanksgiving. If you've been good throughout the entire month, then you can have your binge session, but don't bring a plate home. Don't, just stop. And if somebody gives you a plate, then give it away. Okay, and Christmas, I just don't live outside your means. Understand that we're about to head in some troubled times, and it's time for you all to recognize that, express that with your kids. You can get them something, but just be mindful of your budget. The worst thing you could do is put yourself in some huge debt. And for what? For what? A holiday that was created to keep the economy going and to keep a lot of people rich, minus you. And then in January, I'm not for drinking at that time of night. We're talking about midnight. Or some people just start drinking as soon as they get to the party, and at midnight, they just topping it off. I'm just not for that. But if you feel the need that you have to drink, here's the thing. For every wine, cocktail, or shot glass of alcohol, you have to drink 16 ounces of water. Behind that, or excuse me, not behind that, but you have to drink 16 ounces of water by the end of the night to make sure that you do not damage your liver and make sure it's flushed along with the kidneys and bladder. So one drink, 16 ounces of water. So once you finish drinking, you just come home and you set it aside for like 30 to 45 minutes to just drinking that water. And hey, you know what? You will not wake up if you do that. Like if you had 2 drinks and you drank 32 ounces of water, yeah, you're going to be going up peeing constantly throughout the night, but you won't have a headache. You won't have a hangover either. See what I mean? Okay, and then of course with February, just give away the candy, but be okay. But don't understand that you not having someone in your life, believe it or not, is psychologically, subconsciously your choosing. But I suggest that you work on yourself so that you can attract the right person that's on a higher vibrational level than you. And I think what happens with a lot of women is that they are down on a low vibrational level and they attract these crazy men, but they thought they was the awesomest of the awesomes at the time. And then as that woman began to climb up as she begins to rise her vibration, she realized that she was in a relationship with a bum. Why were you in a relationship with a bum? Because you had a bum mentality at that time when you met him. And now that you have ascended to a higher level, he's still around. and then when people say, get rid of him, you're like, well, I love him. Girl. Anyway, wow, this was longer than I thought it would be. So I'm just going to conclude now. If you want clarification for anything I just said, let me know by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to leave a like. I like those. Give me those likes. And I will every now and then continue to come to this channel. As you can see, I'm a little consistent. But I'm more consistent than I was last year. I think I uploaded 2 videos last year. Shame. Anyway, let me know what you all think, and I'll see you all on the next video. And I leave you if I approach you with the blessing of love, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. Have a good one.